Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something I think a lot of you will connect with, building and restoring those amazing Tamiya RC kits.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a rewarding process.
Absolutely. And there's that pivotal moment, isn't there,
Mm.
when you realize the tools in the box just aren't cutting it anymore.
Right. You start thinking about getting something, better, more professional.
Exactly. So our mission today is a deep dive into building a tool set you can basically buy for life. We're talking quality stuff like MIP and Vessel.
And it's not just about having nice tools. It's crucial, really.
Crucial how? Beyond just feeling good to use.
Well, think about those vintage kits. The plastic can be brittle, irreplaceable sometimes. Using the wrong tool or a worn-out one can strip a screw, damage the plastic.
Yeah, okay, so it's about preservation too. Preventing that damage in the first place.
Precisely. It protects the parts, makes assembly smoother, prevents strip fasteners. It just makes the whole experience better and safer for the model.
Got it. So if someone's ready to make that jump, where's the starting point? What's the, number one tool upgrade?
Okay, this is probably the single biggest point of confusion, I think. It's the crosshead screwdriver.
Right, because they look like Phillips heads, but they're not always.
Exactly. Almost all Tamiya screws are actually JIS, Japanese Industrial Standard, not Phillips.
And there's a real difference. It's not just branding.
Oh, a huge difference in geometry. A Phillips driver is designed to cam slip out when torque gets high. It has a slight taper, rounded corners.
Okay.
But a JIS driver has parallel sides, a blunter tip, sharp 90-degree corners. It's meant for full contact, full depth, no slipping.
So using a Phillips on a JIS screw, that's why they strip so easily.
That's exactly why. The Phillips tip doesn't fit right. It tries to climb out and boom, damage screw head. Even Tamiya's own little L-shaped wrenches often have JIS tips.
Wow. Okay, that explains a lot of childhood frustration. So Vessel JIS drivers, which sizes are essential?
Right. For Vessel, you absolutely need the number 2. The #2 large, that's your workhorse for chassis screws, gearbox, M3, M4, M5 stuff.
Okay, #2. Got it.
Then the number 1, the #1 medium. That's vital for smaller screws, M2, M2.6, think electronics, servo horns, that kind of thing.
X2?
And if you're really getting into vintage stuff, maybe a number 0 or 00, #0, #00, for really tiny screws, like on old mechanical speed controllers.
Okay, #2, #1, and maybe #0 for the detail work. Anything else in the screwdriver department? A hidden gem.
Yes. Don't forget a good flathead, seriously. Like a medium one, 4mm or 5mm tip.
A flathead? For what?
It's kind of a secret weapon for those stubborn combination head screws, the ones with both JIS and a slot. Sometimes the flathead gives you way better torque and leverage if the JIS socket is a bit worn.
Huh, interesting tip. Okay, let's shift gears. I keep hearing Tamiya's moving towards hex screws more these days.
Yeah, that's a definite trend. Newer kits and pretty much all hop-up parts rely heavily on hex fasteners now.
Why the change, do you think?
Well, hex head machine screws are just better for high torque situations and for repeated assembly and disassembly. Think suspension parts, motor mounts.
Stuff you might take apart more often for maintenance or upgrades.
Exactly. They hold tighter and they don't wear out like self-tapping JIS screws can when you take them in and out of plastic multiple times. Much more serviceable.
So investing in good hex drivers is pretty important then, especially for modern kits or if you plan to upgrade.
Absolutely essential, I'd say. You'll need MIP hex drivers for sure.
Which MIP sizes are the non-negotiables?
Okay, the essential trio. First, 1.5mm. Absolutely critical for motor pinion grub screws. Using anything else is asking to round it off.
Right, those tiny ones. Okay, 1.5mm.
Then 2.0mm. You'll use this a lot. Many M3 socket head cap screws, suspension bits, shock mounts. Very common.
2.0mm check.
And the other big one is 2.5mm. This handles most of the M3 button head and countersunk hex screws you find all over modern kits and op-up sets.
Okay, 1.5, 2.0, 2.5. That covers most things.
Most things, yeah. Though there is one specialist size, 3.0mm. You absolutely need this if you work on the CW001 chassis.
The Lunchbox and Midnight Pumpkin.
That's the one. They have some unique 3.0mm hex screws.
Good to know. Okay, last category. Nut drivers. Way better than those little stamped wrenches in the kit, right?
Oh, night and day difference. Better grip, better feel,
Oh,
much
yeah.
less chance of slipping or rounding the nut.
So what are the key sizes there? Again, thinking MIP.
2 main pillars here. First, 7.0mm. That's the standard size for M4 wheel nuts on almost everything.
Okay, 7.0mm for wheels.
And 5.5mm. That's essential for M3 nuts and lock nuts you find on steering links, suspension arms, that sort of thing.
7.0 and 5.5. Got it. Is
Yeah.
it worth getting a full set?
If you plan on doing a lot of building or working on different scales, yeah, the MIP metric nut driver set, I think
Yeah.
it's PN9504 is great. It includes smaller ones like 4.0, 4.5, useful for trucks or mini 4WD, and bigger ones like 8.0 millimeter. It kind of future-proofs you.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the essential JIS and hex drivers, plus those two key nut drivers, form a core set that stops you damaging things.
Right, that's your high-value setup. Add the precision JIS, the 3-point millimeter hex, and the full nut set, and you've got a comprehensive, no-compromise toolkit for pretty much any Tamiya build or restoration.
And critically, if you're doing any hop-ups, those hex drivers aren't really optional anymore, are they?
Not at all. Almost every official Tamiya hop-up or aftermarket part, like titanium screw kits, uses hex fasteners. The 1.5, 2.0, and 2.5 millimeter hex drivers are basically a prerequisite for upgrading.
It really does change the whole experience, doesn't it, using the right tools?
Absolutely. It shifts it from just assembling parts to something more like precision engineering. You build it right, maintain it right, and these models can last and be enjoyed for, well, generations.
That really is the core satisfaction, isn't it? Not just the finished car, but the process, especially with tools that feel right. So thinking beyond RC, what other areas in your life could be, totally transformed by finding the perfect tool for the job, something to mull over,